Hi, this is part 2 to my video where I created an OC from my old drawing. This character firstly appeared on my German notebook as a random sketch, but unlike other doodles in notebooks, I decided to redraw her in my sketchbook and even color it. And now, a year later, I'm going to make her into a character with personality and backstory. When I drew her in my sketchbook, I wanted her to have crystal-like hair, but I was too lazy to figure out how to do it traditionally and left it for my future self to figure out, because I just wanted to enjoy the process. Before making a sketch, I thought about incorporating diamonds not only to her hair, but her eyes, and making her body out of stone. I took inspiration from geodes, a small cavity in rock lined with crystals or other mineral matter. Her body will be a rock and her hair, eyes, lashes, lips and brows will be crystals. The color palette selected by me in the past, purple, light blue, white and dark blue, is going to stay the same. I really enjoyed sketching her digitally, and unlike my previous art, where I erased the sketch to the state where it looked like line art, I did line art like any normal artist would do. That's because I wanted her to have very precise, clean and sharp form. I also separated hair into individual crystals, which, spoilers, I regretted later. I also had some hiccups with recording speed paint. In Krita, you can record in PNG and JPEG formats, and I accidentally switched from PNG to JPEG without noticing it. So later, when I exported my speed paint and viewed the footage, half of my starting process was gone. The start wasn't the sketch or line art, it wasn't even coloring. Speed paint started when I was making individual crystals for hair. I tried exporting it from previous saved file, but no luck. Then I looked into the recorded files and noticed that the images in the file were mixed up. I thought that I needed to separate them by hand and scrolled down to see how big of a mess it was. The images weren't loading, and that's when I noticed they were in different formats. PNG and JPEG alternated among themselves. The speed paint I exported was in JPEG format, so I switched the format of recording in Krita to PNG and exported the rest of the footage. Yay! But the PNG for some reason is a little bit wider than JPEG. Also, I don't have a lot of storage space, and 1 hour of drawing turns into 1 GB of footage, which I have to export later. I don't know why Krita can't automatically record it as a video instead of individual stroke-by-stroke frame, so I had to stop recording sometimes when I rendered the crystals on my OC's hair to have enough space on my laptop for exporting the speed paint later. Speaking of crystals, this character belongs to crystal species, which live in the same world as slime species. The difference is the crystal kind is high-ranked. They live in luxury, each family has its own grand estate. Elders should be always respected, and youngers are the heirs who are obliged to do the duty of continuing their kind and expanding their power as well as holding everything under control. Each family has to have at least 1 daughter and 1 son in order to continue their dynasty. By the age of 18, the heirs of 2 different families form a bond and get married. In this world, crystal species' main source of power is their energy. With it, they can build houses, furniture, grow crystals, play music, create light sources, and more, but most importantly, produce an heir. In order to do that, married crystals should firstly feel each other's energy by touching hands and forming a bond. And after establishing a bond, we need to attend a sacred place, with a primordial crystal set at the center, from which, as the legends tell, the crystal kind came to life. The bonded crystals need to proceed a ritual to give a significant part of their energy, which will flow to the primordial crystal and it will form an heir. Crystals doesn't live long if they have more than 2 heirs, especially if they spend a lot of their energy on doing other things. Sometimes, if a high-ranked family can create a needed gender heir, they will drain the child at the age where it has the most energy, and then parents could try to create an heir again. They also learn etiquette and all of the rules and skills in order to be a perfect representative of their family. The majority enjoys this kind of lifestyle, but there is always someone who wants to have a freedom, who wants to make their own choices instead of blindly doing and liking everything that they should. My OC doesn't know what she wants, but she doesn't enjoy her life, nor does she change it. She thinks it's impossible. It's been centuries since their kind established and maintained this position. Breaking out of it will be an immature task. What will she even do? And that's her biggest misbelief. This is everything I have of her story for now, so let's jump to her personality. My OC is a self-preserved, cold woman, a daughter of a high-ranking family of amethysts, who have to maintain their image no matter what. She's unconfident and doesn't have something that she truly wants, because she was raised in a family where she had to be elegant, calm, humble, well-behaved and mannered successor to their kind. She doesn't express her feelings and shuts the negative emotions. Each day is spent in the same routine with occasional events which drains her a lot. She is scared of forming a lifelong bond with a person she barely knows, but she has no choice. That's everything I have for now regarding my OC. I spent a lot, and I mean a lot of time rendering diamonds on her hair. I should do a more simple alternative for this kind of hair. If you have any name suggestions for my crystal OC, write them down below because I have no clue how to name her. Thank you for watching this video, have an amazing day or night, and bye!